Good morning. Welcome to another episode of HardFoul Radio. Appreciate you for spending some time with me today. It is the week of the NFL draft, and as promised, you got the HardFoul 2021 mock draft.
And I want to let y'all know. Oh, you introduce me, right?
Huh? We got Tony. We got introduced now. We got Tony on the show.
Fuck it, I'm here.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without our college expert.
Let's not say all of that. I'm just a college football fan.
In comparison, you expert.
Touche.
Anyway, though, before we go down memory lane here, so the way that we're going to do it is we're going to alternate picks, odd, even. We both got our own draft boards. We both got our own projected picks. But obviously, if you take a player just the way the NFL draft would, when Trevor Lawrence goes, Trevor Lawrence not available for the remainder of the draft. We're not here to give you like, oh, this dude's a first-round grade, this dude's a second-round grade. These are our opinions, best fits, right team, all that kind of stuff. There's some common sense shit here too. So obviously, like, what's my man, J.C. Horn from South Carolina? I'm not here to tell you, oh, because he runs a 4.2 or he runs a 4.3, he's here that like, no, they good fit, they good player. We're not demeaning, we're not criticizing. We just starting off. I would like to go odd just because Denver, my team, got an odd pick. Did the Ravens got an even pick?
They also have an odd pick.
Oh, they also
have
got
two odd picks, ironically.
But your team's good. So, like, your odd pick is, like, way lower down in the draft. So, I would like the odd picks just because my team got the odd pick. If that's cool to start it off that way.
No, that's all good, man.
All right, so I'm going to throw out the short shock at the draft. First overall pick. Hey, man, it's no shock. There's not much to discover for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going number one. It's him. It's Urban Meyer. I've said since I ever started the show, even if your team's bad, the best thing you can do is sell hope to a fan base. And Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, that's hope to Jacksonville. Nothing else really matters. Like, you're getting a franchise quarterback. You're getting a guy that you hope will be a quality head coach at that level. And you're excited. So Trevor Lawrence going one. When was the last time we were, like, shocked about who was going to go number one? Like, there was like Eric Fisher's year.
Probably that is a great point to go to. Probably when Eric Fisher and who was it? Fucking Taylor Luan went 1 and 2.
Yeah, to the two linemen.
Yeah, so that's probably the last draft, and that was at least 5-6 years ago at this point.
So yeah, man. So Lawrence number one pick, Jacksonville. No surprises there.
Number 2 with the Jets. Now, I will first give you all what I believe is going to happen, and then I will give you on the other end of that what I believe should happen. Now, with this second pick, I believe the Jets will go Zach Wilson. That's been pretty much solidified for about a month now. Zach Wilson, from what I've seen, at least watching, really good quarterback, big arm for his size, but that's not a worry. You see guys like, that run at 6'2" and under range that's coming in having success. Mobile quarterback, and as long as he's surrounded by good pieces, Zach Wilson would be a very good quarterback in the NFL. Now, me personally, I think Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in this draft. I'm not going to say I don't know why the narrative is switched. I know why. We all know why, but I'm not going to get to that right now. But it will be Zach Wilson.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's unfortunate, but I think Zach Wilson's going to have the hardest time because he's not as good as Trevor Lawrence. I don't think anyone's questioning that. And he's going to quite possibly the worst roster out of all these top 5 spots. Whatever insurance Archie Manning had, bro, you better invest in the same stuff. So number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. This is the one that I thought when they made the trade, this is the one where Justin Fields I thought made the most sense. I think Mac Jones is a weird pick. I think taking any Alabama quarterback, no offense, would be a weird pick. That's, like those are system guys, and you're not going to have the amount of talent that you had at Alabama that you would at the pro level. And the Niners are a good roster. But I think the consensus is Mac Jones is going to end up number 3 to the 49ers. I think it'll work as far as like baseline success. But if you asked me who's going to have the best career, he would be last on my list if possible first-round quarterbacks. And that's not even trying to be disrespectful to him. I think this is a strong year for quarterbacks. And it's just he's just a system guy, which if he works in that system, he's going to get wins. He's got a great coach, all that good stuff. Like, I wouldn't do it if I was them, but I'm not the 49ers, but I got them taking Mac Jones number 3.
Now, in my mock, I had this being a trade. So I have the Atlanta Falcons trading the number 4 pick to the Denver Broncos.
And this are we okay with Justin Fields falling? because he's coming home.
To the Denver Broncos, and now that we're in a spot where Justin Fields is still on the board, I have the Denver Broncos selecting Justin Fields with the number 4 pick.
Absolutely. I got the same thing.
Now, I understand what we've been getting over the last few days as far as Lance and Jones is locked in 3. I get it. I heard Michael Lombardi. I heard everybody. I refuse to believe that, and this is no disrespect to Mac Jones. Anybody heard me on the show over the last month or so, I'm very high on Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is going to be a really good quarterback. And I think Trey Lance has every physical tool to where he'll be a good quarterback in the right situation. But this 3 to me is Justin Fields.
I think 2 is Justin Fields.
But for the sake of our draft, I believe that no matter what, our draft in real life, I do think Atlanta and Denver make that trade to swap 4 and 9. I don't know the other capital that would be involved. Mm-hmm. But I do think that for our draft's sake, Justin Fields goes to Denver at 4. And I think when we get to Thursday night, it will be Trey Lance going to Denver.
Moving on to number 5. So I really, really want to give the Bengals Kyle Pitts because I think Joe Burrow and Kyle Pitts would be fire. But I think that if you are the Bengals and you finally have the first definitive franchise quarterback since drafting Carson Palmer back in 2003, there was no way you let him go into his second year coming off an injury without going get an offensive lineman. I think if you get somebody that is not an offensive lineman with this pick, you might as well just mail a middle finger to Joe Burrow's house because you're just saying, fuck you, we don't care. You better get your ass back up. So I got the Bengals, even though this is probably, I don't know if it's too high. I have them taking Penei Sewell. Mm-hmm. I hope I said his name correctly. I know he's slated towards close to like that 10-11 range, but like this is a need thing. You've already got your franchise quarterback. The Bengals, you get Penei Sewell, you have him play left tackle, and you hope it works. And I think it will. And you got to protect Joe Burrow. Like Joe's that good. He proved it. Like just don't let him end up on his ass every play.
So to 6 for Miami, this is pretty easy for me. Probably the second best player in this draft, arguably pound for pound number 1, if you want to really break it down, and that's Kyle Pitts. If Miami is going to invest really in Tua, and if they really see this going somewhere, he needs the weapons. Pitts and Gesicki is probably instantly a top 5 tight end duo, top 4 probably. And to get a guy who could easily be the best wide receiver in this draft, to get him at 6, to get him, with the weapons you do have, easy decision for me. You can never have too many good offensive linemen, like ever, bro.
No, it's fact. So number 7 is the Lions. I'm talking about another team that could fuck this all up. I don't know what the confidence level in Jared Goff is anymore. I still think Jared Goff is a good quarterback if surrounded by the right things, but I don't think he's so great where like you could just throw him with anybody. Like when shit's not going well, like you can see it unravel. So he needs support. And I think this is a huge value pick because Jamar Chase is arguably right there with Kyle Pitts as far as like non-quarterback best player in the draft. And I think to get him in number 7, it's hard to say it's a steal when it's in the top 10, but you got to give Jared Goff someone because otherwise you're just going into season. You might as well punt on 3rd down. Like the Lions offense is going to be trash next year if they don't get something. Like you might as well say, fuck it. 2 downs. We didn't get it. Punt that bitch. Go play defense. So 8, the Panthers, your pick.
Oh, yes. The Panthers, it's been a lot of the Panthers should take a quarterback talk going around, and a lot of even though they traded for Sam Darnold, and Justin Fields is there, they should look at it. And that's cool. If that's the narrative y'all spitting. But for me, Sam was given a raw-ass deal in New York. And this is a guy who Sam's not even 25 yet. And for me, the thing now is, okay, we have 2 wide receivers, which not a lot of teams can say in the league, in all honesty. We have pound for pound the best running back in the game in Christian McCaffrey, who will be healthy next year. I got to keep Sam upright to ensure that he can utilize these weapons. And for me, the pick here is Rashawn Slater. To me, maybe not as naturally talented as Penei Sewell, but second best tackle in this draft from what I've seen just watching games.
So number 9 is now the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
I could be wrong on this. So I loved the last year. One of my favorite picks from last year was Isaiah Simmons going to the Cardinals. And I loved it because to me, if you're really bad at defense is still one of those things like, yeah, there's schematics. Yeah, there's schemes and all this other shit. But you just got to hit someone. You got to be able to run to the ball, hit someone, stop the play. So I love when you're a team like Arizona that realizes, all right, we are some ass on defense. Let's just bring in a guy who does it. I don't care about position. I don't care about where he lines up. Like he's gonna get on the field. He's gonna make plays. So I got Micah Parsons going here to Atlanta. Atlanta's awful on defense. Like
yes,
for everything that's been said about like, oh, should they draft Matt Ryan's replacement? Like, no, Matt Ryan is not your problem. Like Matt may not be a top 5 quarterback. Matt might not be the MVP he was a couple years ago, but Matt Ryan's not your problem. You still got offensive weapons everywhere. Like y'all got Atlanta last year came into the season. They started a first-round pick at every single position. First time a team's ever done that. You just need someone on defense. Like y'all are awful. And I don't care if you think Micah Parsons is too small or not fast or whatever. He is.
That ain't what I say. And I'm not talking about the analysts. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. Yeah, that motherfucker is an animal.
That's a fact.
Dallas Cowboys, the 10th pick of the NFL draft. I'm putting J.C. Horn here to the Cowboys.
All right. This is the one I will argue, and I'm going to ask a question because we finish up our top 10. So I think Horn, to me at least, comes off more as like not just the measurable guy because he can play, but it feels like his stock has risen post the games being played. Kind of that same thing with the whole like Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. It's like they're getting a lot more stock once the games are done. Right. To me, like I just have it like a general rule is like if I get Alabama or LSU like defensive players, I think it's rare that they miss. Whereas there's a lot of guys who go to on offense and they've been so. And so I think Surtain, who's still available on ours, to me he would still be the best corner in the draft, and he was technically most productive. So I'm curious, why do you think Horn? Post games being played has risen up past him, and why do you have him above him on your board?
For me, I can't speak to why he has risen up boards as far as the evaluators, but just for me as a fan, going back and watching him play, I think that he has a great effect on wide receivers more than Patrick Surtain did, and then Surtain playing in that defense. I'm not going to say it's only so much you can take from that because your talent at corner is your talent at corner, really, no matter where you are. But J.C. Horn, he had an aggression that I like from corners. He had a ability to come up and make tackles, an ability to cover, an ability to play the ball. Now, his interception numbers may not show that, which, will come with time. But for me, it just seemed that he was very much more... But he just had an element of dog in him that I like as a football fan.
But appreciate you for coming on, doing the mock draft with me, bro. It's Thursday. It's going to be a dope time. We live streamed last year. We're not live streaming this year. That's why you got the podcast episode beforehand. Deal with it. We're not live streaming, again, the whole 3 rounds or however we did it last year. But, yeah, appreciate you as always from coming on. Go see you later this week on the Real Big 3. And we out.
Peace.